What is up? Welcome back to another Lifeonaire Show podcast episode. My name is Jason Wojo. I'm joined by Polish Peter, my co-host. Dude, today we're going to talk about the Lifeonaire Summit. We just had this recently. Had a lot of cool lessons that came out of this, a lot of great connection time, a lot of insights that our members got. We had about 200 plus people in Atlanta, Georgia. Dude, it was awesome, man.
Was the secret location in Buckhead, Atlanta, right?
It was cool, man. I enjoyed going down there, and like it's really convenient to everything. Next year we're gonna be in Raleigh, I believe. So
I wonder why. Why Raleigh?
I don't know, man. Random place.
Yeah, it's totally random. You know, maybe we should do it in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, so dude, let's talk about some of the lessons that people can use that weren't there, that they can apply in their own lives and their own businesses and move forward with. So let me first kind of describe what the summit is. So basically, Lifeonaire has, we have 11 coaches, we have 9 coaching groups, and then we have this summit day, a day and a half actually. So we have half of our mastermind groups meet before, for the 2 or 3 days before. And then the evening, actually in this case, it was a Wednesday evening, we met up, had some presentations, had some breakout sessions, had some connection and some social stuff going on. And then that next Thursday, the full day, we had connection sessions, breakouts, presentations, mastermind, stuff like that. And then the next 2 or 3 days after that, the rest of our mastermind groups met. So it was one opportunity to bring all these people in Lifeonaire together. And by the way, there's not 10,000 people in Lifeonaire. We have literally a couple hundred people, and it's a boutique program, really, really customized, really, quality over quantity kind of thing. And so, one of the cool things I thought was awesome, man, is like just the sheer energy and power of getting together so many high quality people like that genuinely are excited to be there and love seeing other people succeed was intoxicating, man. Like, and everybody's smiling, everybody's shaking hands, everybody's meeting new people, connecting with old friends. And what makes it cool is like they're all pursuing their own visions too, right?
Right. So what I love about that, the connection piece between everybody's after the vision, right? So when they're looking from that perspective, and the thing is, it's a holistic thing, right? So they're going after having great life in their marriages and with their kids and in their business and in their, faith or whatever it might be. And I think that creates a strong bond. One of the things that I love about, let's say, the life on the retreats, because there's no judgment in that room. I constantly put it into the place that there's no judgment, what's said here stays kind of a thing. And I think that connects people on a much deeper level. And you can see that at the summit. When people come in there, it's almost like they're family. And we're just, we see each other and we're just connecting in a whole different level. You know what I mean? And we see this cross paths between the groups and within the groups, and it creates a really strong bond.
Well, we've been super fortunate to attract like the right kinds of people. I think this is a big part of it. Like, and yes, we screen for people if you want to be part of Lifeonaire, like especially the Titanium program, there's an interview process.
You started screening after I got in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so so we are filtering for the right people. But it's just really cool to see the resources available, and actually this is our first presentation this time. So we have a coach, his name is Ken Holmes. Ken started as a member in Lifeonaire back in 2008, I believe. And so he's going on a lot of years, 17, 16 years, whatever it is. And he shared his journey and how the program and the structure and the offerings and all the resources have just grown so tremendously. And he's like, listen, everything you need is in this room. And he said it again. He's like, I want to repeat that again. Everything you need is in this room. Whether it's crafting your vision for the first time or refining it to get a life getaway or learning how to build your business in a way that complements and supports your life. That's the Business Builder Workshop. And you have your coaches now who you talk to every month, and you got your group, and you have all the company-wide resources, and you have people who are doing this and who are doing that, and the connections and the people you need to know to be successful over here. It's all here. And it was just really cool to see that and just have it be a reinforcement of the power of that community.
Yeah, so as a listener, I'm kind of thinking as she's talking about like how does that relate to me? What am I getting out of this? So I would encourage you, the listener, think about the first piece that we talked about is having a community that you can connect with that is, there's no judgment for you, that you can step into the place where you can share what's going on with you, can have that strong connection. I mean, a lot of times people in Lifeonaire talk about it's a family that I wish I had, right? So create some kind of a community. Look for that community that is going to support you, and you're going to be able to be talking to them, open yourself up. The second lesson that I'm hearing from so far is I think what ends up happening a lot of times for us, because we want to grow, especially entrepreneurs want to grow, we're constantly looking for some next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And that actually keeps us not be able to grow because we're like jumping squirrel from one thing to another, right? And when Ken talked about like everything that you needed in this room, I think what that means is that think about that ecosystem that you are a part of. Look within that ecosystem to help you get to the next level, because the lessons, the strategies, the connection, the people are already in there. So look for yourself in your life to see like you're constantly jumping to one thing to another, and then having that kind of a understanding when you have that connection, whether it's life on air, it's going to help you grow a lot quicker to get to the next level.
Well, yeah, you have to either create your own community or just jump into ours, right? Or
Right.
find another one, right? That's great. But you got to don't ignore this. Don't try to do it on your own. It's the hardest thing to do it on your own. It's the slowest, it's the most painful, it's the most expensive. So you got to get a community behind you. And so the other thing, man, that you mentioned I thought was interesting is like, so during the retreats, and this kind of came up, I spoke with some of the coaches about some of the shares. And so basically, for context, like you go in this room, you have, I don't know, 15 to 30 other people there usually, and everyone takes a turn diving into what you have the biggest challenge in your life for the next, 4 to 6 months. And what's the one thing if you solved life would be like amazing, or business would be amazing. And the diversity of what people share is really important. And the reason I mention that is because, some people have a relationship issue. Some people had a super tactical business issue, and all of it gets solved. And so to your point of like focusing, you got to know like what is that biggest constraint in your life or your business right now that's holding you back. And then you just need to focus there. And like, that's what you need to get help with. And that's what you need to like really double down on until you solve that. And not kind of like scattering around, like, and actually people misdiagnose the real problem all the time. And this is why, for instance, when people come to the retreats, we ask them, we call them retreats, they're masterminds. We're like, hey, give some real consideration to this in advance, so you don't just show up and something comes to mind. At the summit itself, I had a woman approach me, and she's like, hey, I need to learn more about real estate. And I'm like, actually, I kind of know your situation, and you don't need to know more about real estate. You need to learn how to focus and take things off of your plate. And so people kind of misdiagnose this stuff all the time.
Yeah, and that's why when we sit down, we keep digging, right? What's the real reason why? So that means to you, listener, you gotta open your mouth, right? You gotta get yourself in that kind of a community so someone is poking at you and pouring into you to see what the real problem is. Because guess what? I've been coaching since what, 2015, 10 years now. It's not the problem that you think is the problem. It's almost never the problem. So I think that's a really important aspect to kind of dive into it. And that's why these retreats and the summits are working so well. People walk away from them with having the real solutions to what the reason is, because they discover like,
Yeah.
so that's why this problem keeps recurring in my life over and over and over again. Now I can make a different shift, right? The other thing that popped into, did you have something on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the other thing that I've discovered is that when we were doing the breakout sessions, we had different topics for people to come into, right? Like one topic was about.
So so I pulled these up actually. So we had breakout sessions and connection sessions, right? So the breakout sessions were masterminds around specific topics that people wanted to learn more about. And we'll talk about the connection sessions in a second, but the breakout sessions, man, those were awesome. And I popped into a bunch of those. And so we had one on you. Well, you facilitated one, right?
Cool.
You.
Yeah, to you. You too, too, do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I facilitate.
A facilitation. What?
Yes. Yes, two of them. Okay, let's keep it simple. Two sessions, yes.
Look, I'm looking at here. You did your authentic rebirth, becoming the person you were meant to be. And you did that with Dobbin. And dude, very
Mhm.
cool because, and we celebrated Peter launching his book at the summit, which is really cool too. If you haven't picked that up, go pick that up. It's called Your Authentic Rebirth. Um,
So, by the way, this is probably going to be the first podcast ever I'm going to mention this on. My publisher just told me I'm number one international bestseller now. So go figure.
dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So,
That is awesome. Who'd you
right.
pay off?
The government.
Okay. So check it out. We had that session. We had self-directed IRA mastery. We had when the roles reverse, navigating life with aging parents. Now you can obviously you're looking at this and you're like, what? There's so much diversity. And like, yeah, it's because different parts of people's lives are needing attention, right? Then we had this one. I love this one, dude. This one's I had fun creating this title. Burns, blunders, and busts, lessons from deals and due diligence gone wrong. So people sharing like, hey, here's some things that went wrong. And we heard all kinds of like horror stories about people getting investing into deals that did not go well. We had version 2.0 of your vision. We had one on faith journey. We had success stories, mastering communication, how to have a successful, passionate marriage. Like, so we had like listen, that's why it's Lifeonaire. And I'm telling you this not to rub it in if you missed the summit, but like you have multiple parts of your life that all need attention, and you've got to make sure that they all fit together and that you're giving them the attention they need. Now, you cannot fix everything at once, and I'm not saying that. Like to what we just said before, like you got to pick one thing and really fix that first, but don't neglect these other parts of your life because they're all interconnected.
Yeah. And the thing is, what just popped into my head as you're talking is think about it, a lot of times, especially as entrepreneurs, we think that if I just make more money, if I do make this business grow, and whatever is going to solve a whole bunch of different problems. And these sessions, when we go and start talking about these different areas of your life, what we find out a lot of times, that is not the only path to solving those issues. Because sometimes it's not the money, it's the relationship with your wife or your husband that you need to focus on and solve it. So people went into that session, right? There's a lot of people in that particular session. And then and the thing is, what I love about these particular sessions, because what ended up happening, like for instance, in my session, so that was the authentic rebirth was one of them. The other one was talking about Vision 2.0. And, because a lot of times people start looking from the perspective of like, well, I hit my vision, I'm living my vision. What next? What now? Right. And what we found out in the particular vision is that when people were asking questions, someone else in the room maybe achieved this and they were already hit that. And now I literally, one of them, I said, well, just connect you two, connect with yourself and start having conversation about that. And
Yeah.
that is going to help you get to the next level. It's not me working harder, it's making those connections. And I think that's what really is a powerful aspect to that, the summit.
So, and also, let me give you guys some ideas here for yourself. We had these connection sessions. We had two of them. One was based on the challenges you're facing now, and the other one is based on like what you're looking for. And so, as you're kind of creating your own community and reaching out to people around you or plugging in, like so, for instance, the challenges we had here: time freedom and overwhelm was one, money, debt, and cash flow was two, scaling and hiring was three. Vision, clarity, and direction was another one. Fear, confidence, and mindset was another one. And then parenting and homeschooling. And then, for looking for, we had like accountability partner, a prayer partner, business collaboration, funding or lending, adventure partners and travel, people to travel with, and then missions and charity, like in service. So like, again, these are guidelines for you as to figure out like, what is it and who is it that you want to be around, and what do you want to be focused on? What do you want to be talking about? Are you moving the needle in the areas that are important to you? And like this is a huge part of like being able to kind of move towards your vision.
Yes. And I know we keep beating this horse, over and over
That's
and
just a
over
weird
and
phrase,
over again.
bro. I don't even know why we say that.
I don't know. Okay,
We made
beating
that
this
up.
cow. I don't know when cows come home.
Why do we have to be eating something? Like it seems like why, tenderizing the meat. I'm not sure. Like I'm not like what. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I don't know. We whatever the phrase might be, use your own analogy. Okay, disclaimer at the bottom. But this is why we keep repeating this over and over and over again. How important that vision is,
Yeah.
because if you don't have that vision, how are you going to know what to discuss, who to connect with, right? And what happens most of the time, all we have a vision, quote unquote vision, business plan for our business. We don't have anything for your own life. And that's why we keep saying your vision first for your life. So you can have those discussions, so you can connect with the right people to be able to get you to the next level.
Yeah. Last couple lessons here, man. I want to take them from our presentations. So we had a presentation on agentic AI workflows, which is essentially like using AI to do work for you. You know, most people just use it for like to copy, to write copy or to give you suggestions or ideas, but like you can actually have AI integrate with different platforms through things like APIs and stuff. And I don't want to get into tech here, but
Mm-hmm.
essentially it can do things, it actually can do tasks for you. And the woman who gave the presentation, she said she was able to replace four and a half actual high level team members, not VAs, but high level team members using AI. And she built out some stuff for us, and like she told us how she's doing it, and that was really cool too. And listen, yeah, we probably need to do another session on AI completely separately, but like this is something you have to embrace. It is more than here. It is like I'm using AI almost every day. Um, and so like you just have to, or you're gonna be outcompeted in life and business.
Okay, so who's talking right now? Is it you or AI?
This is a hologram of me actually.
Well, you should have done something much better looking, man. If you're gonna go AI, make it better looking, not so.
I'm not gonna talk about AI pictures, bro, because like you know what I say about
Yeah.
you know where
So
I'm gonna go. So
yeah, I
like,
know where you're gonna go. Yeah.
all right, so we got that. So AI, you got to embrace it. And then the second one, I love this, man. So Joe Turney, who's given a bunch of presentations at Lifeonaire with Lifeonaire at our summit. He talked about the seasons of life and business, and I thought it was so cool because he said, you know, you just basically you got to know. First of all, the seasons are inevitable. They follow a predefined pattern. You know it's coming in advance. And you might not know the exact time it's going to happen, but it is a season. Like, so say maybe life throws you a curveball and it propels you into a season of life you weren't prepared for, but you kind of knew it was coming a little bit. Maybe you weren't
Mm-hmm.
100% prepared, but like, listen, we all know we're going to die. We all know our parents are going to die. We all know that someone's going to get sick. We all know that there could be a change. You know what I mean? Like, so like, you just got to recognize and approach it with this like attitude of like, hey, this too shall pass. You know, number one, like getting ready for it, preparing, like, and Joe said, you know, he talked about, you know, the Bible, he says like, you know, go to the ant, you sluggard, right? I think it's in Proverbs about
Mm-hmm.
preparation. And then also like, just not making it into more than it is, like, just getting through it. And also some of the surprises that, you know, he broke down each season is like the hardest work, you know, we always think it's the winter. What's the hardest season? Oh, it's winter. No, it's actually not. It's like, the most work and the hardest work is actually when you're, you know, sometimes harvesting the fruits of all that work. And so like, so it was an interesting it was an interesting kind of like metaphorical comparison to like how life and business kind of work and like this fluctuation between the stages.
Yeah, and I think that seasons conversation kind of helped open people's eyes to like you said, like the seasons always change. I mean, think about spring, summer, fall, winter. The seasons always change, they move, but sometimes in our lives we don't look at it from that perspective. So if you just hold on to that thought, that season, if you're in a bad season, that's going to end at some point. I don't know when, but I think that was a great conversation, because even after when we had a retreat afterwards, I had several people mention to me during our retreat that, okay, I'm in the winter season, I'm in the summer season, and knowing that you can start kind of a planning ahead, right? You can start, if you're in a bad space, like things are very, very bad, you can start saying, well, the next season is coming. So let me start get out of my own head and start trying to prepare for that next season, right? So some great conversations, great shares, great, sessions when we're teaching sessions. And I'm looking forward to the next season, next summit. And it's going to be in a year, but I think it's going to come here quicker than ever. You're probably going to have to start planning for that, aren't you?
Couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so yeah, looking forward to it.
So listen, I hope this wasn't just us rambling. You got some actual value from this. You saw a few lessons or nuggets for yourself as you decide to kind of move forward with your own vision. And so this is something like really like, and by the way, if there's any way that we can help you, in planning any of this, feel free to reach out to us. We also have recently made this available if you'd like to schedule a strategy call with us at no charge. If you're looking at creating your vision, or you want to get involved and maybe even join Lifeonaire as a member, and learn more about what we're doing, you can just go to lifeonaire.com/breakthrough, and you can book a call, a strategy call, to kind of like to see if we can help you. Hope you got something out of this, and we will see you next week. Take care, everyone.